It is that time of the week again to talk about the latest spoilers and leaks for the upcoming episode of the 1000-Year Blood War arc anime. In this video, we have the latest leaks for episode 38 titled Friend. We are finally going to be seeing the long-awaited battle between Hashward and bazz-b. In this video, I'll be going over absolutely everything that you need to know about this upcoming episode. I'll be covering how many chapters are going to be adapted, and whether or not if we're going to be getting some extended flashback sequences of bazz-b and Hashward's childhood. Now, you definitely want to stick around until the very end of this video, as I'll be revealing just what chapter exactly the episode will be ending on, and I also have some crazy details about episode 39, which is releasing next week, alongside episode 40. So with only 2 more weeks of the anime and 3 episodes left, we have quite a lot to discuss. So without further delay, here are my spoilers and leaks for episode 38, Friend. We got really tired of the same old boring anime shirts, so we decided to launch Getsuga.com with the aim of creating designs inspired by our favorite anime and manga. We came up with designs that look cool and represent all of our favorite stories. Check out the latest Instinct collection, which features some amazing designs like this Frosted Heavens design inspired by Toshiro Hitsugaya, or this Instinct design inspired by Holo Ichigo, and my personal favorite, which is the Heart design, which was inspired by Ukiura Shifa. Do not miss out, go to Getsuga.com and wear your favorite stories. As always, we will be beginning by discussing the details revealed over on the official Bleach anime website. So the story synopsis states that as the battle between the Shinigami and Quincy intensifies in various different locations within Vahervelt, the one who appears before Hashward in Vahervelt is of course bazz-b. And so begins the clash between the two of them, as we learn that in the past, bazz-b and Hashward had aimed to become the strongest Quincy. They were constantly honing their skills together, but where on earth did their paths diverge? As they lock their gazes on each other, what is reflected in their eyes? So it's quite a mysterious synopsis there, revealing some details about them two having a major battle here, as well as some details about their flashback. So let's now discuss the staff who have been revealed to be working on this episode. So in terms of the script, we have the usual Masaki Hiramatsu, but the storyboard for this week has been done by Toshiyuki Suru. Now this is Suru's second return to the 1000-Year Blood War arc anime, as he had previously storyboarded episode 7 of Core 1. Suru is a industry legend. He's worked on several anime including Cowboy Bebop, as well as offering his hand to key animation in episode 1 of Berserk, so it's great that he's returned for storyboarding in episode 38. Next we have a very familiar name who's worked on a lot of Bleach episodes at this point. It's Dali Chen, and he has been credited as the episode director. He was previously credited this for episode 33 of Core 3, as well as directing episodes 19 and 26 of Core 2. So it's really exciting to have him return for this latest episode of Bleach. Now, in terms of animators who are working on the episode, we have Saiko Ozawa. She's done a lot of work on episodes 14, 21, and 26 of Core 2. She also was a animation director for episodes 27, 33, and now, of course, episode 38. She also did some great work in Core 1, being the animation director for episodes 5, 9, and 12. Now we have the legendary Bleach staff member herself, Cindy Yamauchi, who has been credited as animation director for episode 38. She of course has previously been credited this for episodes 27 and 30. She was the animation director for episode 26 of Core 2, as well as the animation director for episodes 1, 7, and 13 of Core 1. We also have Kazuo Takigawa, who has been credited as animation director too, and Tomoko Hayashi, who has also been given this credit. Now the final key staff member is Chief Animation Director for episode 38, who is Kiyoshi Komatsubara. He's done extensive work on the 1000-Year Blood War arc anime. He's been Chief Animation Director for 3 episodes of Core 1, 6 episodes of Core 2, and now he is Chief Animation Director 4 episodes of Core 3. This now brings us to the 5 preview images which have been revealed on the official Bleach anime website. So this first image here is of bazz-b grinning towards Hashward. You can see the blood pouring on the left side of his face here, and this is right at the beginning of their encounter. You can see Hashward here in the second image, and it looks like he's in movement, like he's evading an attack from bazz-b. He's still got that same stoic, calm expression on his face. Now the third image is where things get really interesting. It's this image of young Yhwach here. You've got this really bright background, and this image is of course taken from the flashback of bazz-b and Hashward, where Yhwach had arrived in their village wanting to recruit soldiers for his this new military organization, the Sternritter, which he was creating in order to invade the Soul Society 1,000 years ago. This fourth preview image is of a young bazz-b, and he's wielding this reishi weapon which can fire arrows. And then we have this fifth and final preview image of Hashward when he was just a young boy. He has this very concerned look on his face, he's looking up, and he is looking up presumably at bazz-b, who is standing on a tree branch. All of the drawings here look very on model. Young Hashward and young bazz-b look incredible, and I'm really excited to see more of their flashback. So if you recall, a couple of weeks ago, at the end of episode 36, material from chapter 630 was adapted in the post-credit scene. This is where bazz-b first confronts Hashward, as Hashward questions what does he think he is doing, as bazz-b tells him shouldn't he be asking how is he still alive. So episode 38 is presumably going to be picking up from this point as it adapts the rest of chapter 630. So this involves bazz-b using Burner Finger 1 against Hashward. They have a brief clash as Hashward discusses how bazz-b was not chosen by Yuhobak since he was affected by Yuhobak's Ashvalan. bazz-b says that Hashward knew that this was going to happen, as we then get some hints of their backstory, as material from chapter 630 ends with bazz-b telling Hashward to call him Baz like he had used to. We then have bazz-b releasing Burner Finger 2, and we get a brief glimpse of some scenes from bazz-b's backstory here at the end of chapter 630, and the backstory between the two of them is actually told within the manga sporadically throughout their fight, as it's not just one continuous sequence. We get a bit of their fight, then we see a flashback, we get more of the fight, and it continues up until the end point, which is in chapter 634. So content from chapter 631 is again bazz-b using Burner Finger 2 against Hashward, which he avoids. We then see a flashback sequence of the first time that the two of them had met while Hashward was hunting for rabbits. So all of this will be adapted into the episode, as then bazz-b utilizes Burner Finger 3 in the present time, as we then cut to more flashback material where we learn about how bazz-b's family home was burnt down by Yuhobak, as the young bazz-b and Hashward swear that they are going to kill Yuhobak. And chapter 631 content ends with Yuhobak stating his desire to conquer the Soul Society next, and he will need a new military division and he will be calling it the Sternritter. Then flashback material from chapter 632 will be adapted. There's a bit of a time skip here, as we have a teenage Hashward and bazz-b, as they have been training tirelessly for the last 5 years with the sole goal of wanting to defeat Yuhobak. So chapter 632 has a lot of flashback material. This is where young bazz-b and Hashward try to get enlisted into the Sternritter. Yuhobak of course arrives, as he states that he has come to pick up something that he has been looking for. All of the Quincy are crushed by the immense presence of Yuhobak, aside from Hashward, who is the only Quincy who remains standing, whilst everyone else is forced down to their knees. It is here where we learn that Yuhobak had come to get Hashward. So chapter 633 is where Yuhobak explains why Hashward is so special, stating that he is a Quincy with the ability to share power with others. This is where we learn that Hashward had been empowering bazz-b, as he questions bazz-b whether if he actually thinks his amazing feats of power were as a result of his own effort. He tells him that he should thank Hashward, and this is where a huge rift begins to form between the two childhood friends. So a young bazz-b, furious, yells for Yuhobak to die as he fires an arrow towards him. Then we see young Hashward grab the arrow, and in a similar fashion in the present day, Hashward grabs the arrow that was fired at him by bazz-b as the final stage of their battle now commences. In chapter 634, we see bazz-b pushed back by Hashward's immense strength as he struggles to get back up onto his knees, as Hashward tells him to stop, that it does not benefit Yuhobak at all by them two fighting. He then unleashes Burner Finger 4 as Hashward continues to avoid him. We do have another flashback sequence in chapter 634, and this is sometime further into the future, where both Hashward and bazz-b have been enlisted into Yuhobak's army. It is here where we learn that bazz-b was continuously pestering Hashward for a fight. Hashward at this point has been saving Yuhobak for 3 years, and it's revealed that he was a commander of the Sternritter, while in those 3 years bazz-b had just barely been able to join the Sternritter. So we learn how Hashward had continuously refused to fight bazz-b, as we then cut to the present day with bazz-b's right arm being cut off by Hashward, as bazz-b then resorts to using his final attack, burning Full Fingers, but it fails to do anything to Hashward. as bazz-b concedes defeat as he falls down to his knees, as he states that he had thought that losing to Hashward would have stung a lot more than it has. Hashward of course walks away as bazz-b lays in a pool of his own blood as he thinks back to the first time that they had met, and this is pretty much all of the content which will be adapted in episode 38. So this entire episode is going to be focusing entirely on bazz-b versus Hashward. The episode adapts material from page 10 of chapter 630 all the way up until the final page of chapter 634. So there is going to be no friend 2 or a part 2 to this. The entire battle and the flashback will occur in the same episode. Now, there is some interesting information about the runtime of this week's episode. So including everything, the episode clocks in at about 26 minutes and 20 seconds. So this is the longest episode in the 1000 Year Blood War arc anime to date, as typically most episodes are 24.5 minutes. So all of you will be excited to know that the flashback between bazz-b and Hashward has been extended with many anime exclusive scenes. The leakers state that it is amazing just how much new material that they were able to squeeze into the episode. So there are teasers that the anime does a fantastic job with the flashback sequences, as it depicts them in an even more emotional manner than what was shown to us in the manga. Once again, everybody's favorite sad soundtrack, Soundscape to Adore, will also be used in this episode. And in terms of the title card for the episode, at the very end we have the words E, N and D highlighted in red, as the episode ends with the death of bazz-b from the end of chapter 634. Now, there's some important information about episode 39. So at the end we do get a poem by Hashward, and this is the same poem from volume 70 of the Bleach manga. This poem states, "There is no pain as long as I keep my eyes on the balance scale." This is so fascinating, and it's left me really speechless because the title for episode 39 is The Visible Answer, and this is the same title as manga chapter 660. I'm honestly shocked that they're going to be going into this material, which involves Hashward confronting Uryu and Ichigo confronting each other from the final portions of the 1000 Year Blood War arc. It's at this point of the manga where Hashward outright just calls Uryu a betrayer, as he reveals that he knows his true motives for having joined the Sternritter, but it seems like the anime is heavily reworking all of this. I just don't know what they're going to be doing with Core 4 with how much content that they have adapted within Core 3. But as of now, this is everything that I have for episode 38 of the 1000 Year Blood War arc anime. Next week we are going to be getting 2 episodes, episodes 39 and 40, so we have quite a lot to look forward to. Also, over on the weekend, we're going to be having Jump Festa 2025. Bleach has 2 stages at the event, so I'm sure we can expect some information about the finale for Core 3, as well as some details about Core 4, like maybe even a teaser trailer. So we have reached the point of the video where I do want to hand over the discussion to all of you. What do you guys think about all of the spoilers and leaks that we've discussed for episode 38 of the 1000 Year Blood War arc? I look forward to reading all of your comments, and lastly, thanks for making it to the end of the video, and I cannot wait to see you in my next Bleach Explained video. A massive thank you goes out to all of my amazing Patreon supporters for helping to make this video possible. If you also want to support the channel and see your name in the end of my videos, then check out my Patreon, which has loads of perks like early video access and so much more. Thank you for sticking around till the end of the video, and whatever you contribute will mean a lot to me.